In the wild, when a bear goes on a rampage, nothing stands in its way. With unmatched strength, explosive speed, and raw territorial power, this giant can turn any encounter into a life or death struggle within seconds. Today, you will witness the most unbelievable bear attacks ever caught on camera. While hiking down Mount Futago in Japan, a man was suddenly ambushed by a bear approaching from behind. Instinctively, he shouted, spread his arms, kicked, and used his voice to appear big and loud without turning his back or running. Most bears avoid humans whenever possible, and making loud noise is one of the most effective ways to deter an attack. This hiker stayed calm, kept his posture dominant, and followed recommended safety behavior almost perfectly. And in a tense moment like this, those decisions likely saved his life. While guiding a ski group, this instructor spotted a bear approaching on the slope.
Hi. Whoa! Whoa!
To protect the others, he made noise and drew the bear's attention, triggering its chase instinct.
Ești un zăpăcit! Eu zic să... Tu tot alergi, tu tot... Ce frumos e!
The bear followed him briefly, then retreated into the woods. In rare situations, loud sounds and movement can redirect a bear's focus, but this is highly dangerous and should only be used as a last resort. Most experts recommend staying calm and backing away slowly.
Dacă veniți toți grupați!
A black bear had just caught a moose calf and was struggling to finish the kill.
The circle of life.
But everything changed the moment the mother appeared. A mother moose can charge at over 30 miles per hour, and her long, sharp hooves are strong enough to crush a predator's skull with a single kick. Faced with a furious, full-grown moose cow charging head-on, the black bear has no choice.
Bear left.
He backs off, abandons the calf, and retreats. This footage captures a tragic moment as a helpless calf is attacked and eaten alive by a family of grizzly bears. The mother likely fled in a desperate attempt to survive. In extreme danger, even large prey, such as moose, may abandon their young. For many large herbivores, escaping the threat is sometimes the only way an adult can survive long enough to reproduce again. An unlucky wild hog discovered by this black bear was dragged down a ditch on a hillside. Refusing to lose, the adult hog fought back fiercely, resisting every attack from the bear.
Do not get out. It's trying to kill it, buddy.
Black bears do prey on baby wild hogs, but an adult hog is truly a serious challenge.
Here we go, buddy. I think the pig is almost done.
After a long while, the bear was still unable to carry the heavy prey away, so it gave up and walked off. The hog survives while badly wounded. Weight still matters in a battle for life.
The hog.
Giant male brown bears can stand over 10 feet tall and weigh up to 1,400 pounds, making their clashes truly dramatic. They rarely rush in at the start of a fight. Instead, they test each other, dodging blows and reading movements. These two giants took part in a real bare-knuckle battle as they tried to exert their dominance. Being overly aggressive isn't always a good thing in a fight. This rare footage captures a massive brown bear struggling to drag a full-grown cow moose after a successful hunt. The moose's sheer weight proved too much, forcing the bear to abandon the effort and feed right where the kill lay to conserve precious energy. A single moose can provide an enormous energy boost, yet even then, a bear may only absorb a portion of its calories efficiently, which is why they feed aggressively whenever an opportunity arises. This footage was filmed in Grand Teton National Park, where a grizzly bear chased a herd of elk during a hunt. As the panicked herd fled across the meadow, one calf fell behind, and the bear instantly seized the opportunity, pouncing and dragging it into the bushes as it cried out. In some regions, elk calves make up a significant portion of a grizzly's diet during early season hunts, simply because they are the most vulnerable prey available. In this video, a grizzly bear spots a herd of muskox from a distance. It looks calm, but it's simply waiting for the right moment.
And they are standing him down.
As you see, the bear suddenly charges. Grizzlies can sprint at up to 35 miles per hour, and once they commit, very few animals can outrun them over short distances. The adults can run fast, but the calves much lighter, and with shorter legs simply can't keep up. With overwhelming speed and power, it catches two calves and ends their lives within moments. High in the mountains, this mother cougar sensed danger approaching her den and cubs. A grizzly bear ran in closer with unusual ferocity. They lunged at each other without mercy. The aggressive bear even charged at the smaller cougars, and then it quickly paid the price for the bad behavior. In terms of size, a cougar is no match for a grizzly. But provoking a mother trying hard to protect her cubs is no different than playing with fire. This young bear approached and attacked one of the bison grazing on the grassland of Yellowstone National Park. The bear is truly struggling because its opponent is North America's largest land mammal, weighing up to 2,000 pounds. The bison broke free and even charged back, forcing the bear to retreat. Angered, the bear gave chase all the way to a lake. There, the fight dragged on with no clear winner. Evenly matched fights drag on and rarely end quickly.
Now, if they break into a fight and it gets too close to us...
These two giant male Alaska brown bears were battling for mating season dominance on the coast of Alaska. Wins of larger, stronger males mean the winners will pass on their genes.
This is a gift from Mother Nature, man.
The battle lasted for nearly 10 minutes. The bear, pinned in the mud, was losing ground, but still fought back fiercely.
Holy shit, dude.
Neither of the bears fully overpowers the other, so they decide to separate at the end.
That's the edge. When they break, just stay with the...
Natural selection is unforgiving, passing survival on only to the strongest. This man survives a terrifying encounter when a polar bear approaches his reinforced observation cage. At first, the bear appears merely curious, but within seconds, its behavior shifts into full hunting mode. Most people don't realize that polar bears often investigate potential prey by applying increasing pressure, pushing, striking, and biting to gauge whether something can be breached. It's the same strategy they use when hunting seals in their dens. Fortunately for this man, the bear eventually lost interest and walked away. A massive grizzly is caught defending its carcass from a pack of wolves. One wolf becomes 2, then 3, and soon the bear is completely surrounded as the pack tests its patience, looking for any opening to steal the prize. The grizzly struggles to hold them off, But in confrontations like this, size and raw power matter.
This has never happened.
After a tense, prolonged standoff, the wolves recognize the risk isn't worth the reward. One by one, they back off and eventually retreat.
The stills?
A massive grizzly emerges, attempting to hunt two mountain goats positioned on a narrow rocky ridge. The bear moves cautiously, calculating every step, but mountain goats are built for this terrain. With specialized hooves that grip even the smallest ledges, they are astonishingly agile, fast and sure-footed on sheer cliffs where a single misstep could be fatal. Eventually, the grizzly abandons the chase, outmatched by prey that evolved to survive in places few predators can follow. This male brown bear seems to see the mother and cub bears as a threat to its enormous meal. It attacked the mother bear, which was also alert and defensive. Then, when no one could expect it, the first male rushes in, replacing the mother bear. That timely intervention helped bring the fight to a halt. Thanks to the lifesaver bear, the mother and her cubs move away safely. Sometimes in nature, support is necessary. How terrifying would it be if the victim suddenly became the attacker for revenge? Still fueled by anger, the cougar boldly attacks a black bear foraging near its den. In the excited state, the bear actually becomes a challenge. Bears primarily stand on their hind legs in a fight, which allows them to get a better vantage point. The cougar soon realizes the bear is too strong to challenge today. She retreats. Wisdom sometimes begins with knowing when to stop. Hungry or not, if there's a bad time to try to sneak up on a bear, it's when he's eating. This cougar should be aware of that. Tired of the disturbance, the bear responds aggressively. The cougar backs off, reminded that its seemingly threatening growl failed to shake its opponent on the opposite side. It received an important lesson on what lines must not be crossed. This rare video captures a starving polar bear climbing a nearly vertical cliff, risking its life to reach a nesting site high above the Arctic coastline. These guillemots typically nest on sheer cliffs precisely because predators can't reach them. For a polar bear, this is extremely unusual behavior. He moves slowly, testing every foothold, searching for eggs or chicks, each bite offering only a tiny fraction of the calories a bear needs. Here, one wrong step doesn't just mean losing a meal, it means a fall. Almost no creature could survive. A wild mother bear and her year-old cub were feeding at a station in Transylvania when a much larger male suddenly appeared. In bear behavior, size often determines dominance, and adult males pose one of the greatest dangers to cubs. As the male approached, the mother charged forward, trying to create enough distance for her cub to escape. Eventually, once her cub was far enough away, the mother fled with him, leaving the dominant male to take over the feeding site. While foraging along a rocky ridge, a mother bear and her cub were suddenly ambushed by a massive male. The mother responded instantly, fighting with everything she had. Female bears are known to defend their cubs with extreme aggression, even against much larger males, because losing a cub means losing nearly 2 years of parental investment. The struggle intensified until both bears tumbled off a high cliff, crashing onto the rocks below. Miraculously, they survived, but both sustained injuries. A male bear attacks a mother bear and her cubs, forcing her into a desperate fight.
Yeah.
The hopeless mother cannot protect both offspring.
Fuck, I think he got one.
No, they're both down quite a ways.
Some suggest the male bear did this to continue breeding with the mother bear once they were completely separated from her cubs.
Cub's right on that cliff.
While others believe they did it for a meal. Finally, the outcome is tragic, but common in the natural selection process. A grizzly bear spots a bull elk trapped in a river and seizes the opportunity to attack it. The elk flees in panic, but the bear is already exploiting a blind spot from the back that the elk couldn't reach. Unfortunately, the elk's antlers are not effective for impaling a low-charging predator like a bear. The struggle ends quickly with a massive meal reward for Grizzly. Opportunity favors those who act with precision. Hidden by fog, a polar bear approaches a group of walruses. The adults form a solid wall around their young. The bear tests them, but cannot break through the thick hide and sharp tusks. The chance of his first meal in months is slipping away. The polar bear seems increasingly desperate as the herd retreats to safety. Even in hunger, choosing the right opponent saves precious energy.
That bear.
After following a trail, a massive grizzly charges after a caribou.
Footage.
By the time I get him, it's gonna be gone.
With a sense of smell strong enough to detect prey from over 10 miles away, even across rivers, ridges, and dense forest, the bear locks onto its target with absolute focus.
The bear, why doesn't the bear turn?
When the caribou leaps into the water, the bear doesn't slow down for a moment. Within seconds, the bear closes the distance, catches the struggling caribou, and drags the carcass back to shore with ease.
All covered in blood. See that? He's gonna drag it to his cubs.
This video shows a bull elk sprinting through a fast-moving river with a grizzly bear closing in behind it. Despite the water slowing both animals down, the bear gains ground quickly. The elk turns and fights back, using its antlers to keep the predator at bay. But against a grizzly that can weigh over 300 kilograms, the struggle is hopeless. Eventually, the elk is overpowered and pulled under, drowning in the struggle.
I'm talking to you.
Each fall, giant male polar bears gather along Hudson Bay as they wait for the ice to return. They spar and wrestle, practicing skills needed for battling in breeding season. These fights are not deadly, but are essential preparation. The roars indicated that even though it was just a training match, it was neither fun nor pleasant. The behaviors of bear species, including the polar bears, reflect a remarkably high level of animal cognition. These two grizzly bears seem to prefer verbal sparring before charging straight at each other. Grizzly bears are one of the bear species with very unique attacking behavior. They look like two real boxers with their punches and takedowns. This brutal style relies on strength, stamina, and dominance rather than speed alone. The fight ends when the weaker bear gives up. Unless you're a grizzly bear. Don't fight a grizzly bear. The innocent bison herd thought they were completely safe after the alpha dealt a crushing blow to the bear. But anger fuels the predator more. The poor bison calf becomes a scapegoat for the bear's anger. The adult bison decides to try its luck again. But the bear outsmarts it too quickly. Bears are intelligent problem solvers, and provoking them often leads to tragic outcomes. Far inland, the bear must develop hunting strategies for giant prey. Adult bison are nearly impossible targets, but calves are another story. The key is to separate the calf from its mother. The mother tries to protect her calf, but cannot match the bear's burst speed. In open terrain, racing a bear is never a winning choice, as it could reach 56 to 64 kilometers per hour. It's brutal that the slower becomes the meal. The caribou herd relaxes once away from water, unaware of the danger nearby. Bears understand this weakness well. A big feast is in front of its eyes. Because the caribou herd runs so fast, catching this young one was already incredibly lucky for the bear. Things change really fast. The clever baby calf feigned death, exploiting the moment when the greedy bear was busy choosing its prey. Timing is everything when hunting in the wild, and hesitation only leads to failure. The seal cannot smell the polar bear because the predator intentionally ambushes it in the opposite direction of the wind. The seal is now in utter panic. Escaping the polar bear's claws once doesn't mean escaping fatal destiny. In a stunning moment, the female dives and captures the seal underwater. For this polar bear, seal blubber can contain over 100,000 calories, essential for surviving long fasting periods. Always be vigilant about what's behind you in any circumstances. Just looking at the marks on the wild hog's body, it could understand what it went through with this bear. Although not often, bears do hunt wild hogs for food, in addition to salmon, mammals, or plants. It seems the bear had some ulterior motive. The bear wanted to drag it up the mountain, but the boar wasn't ready to give up yet. Just by looking, we can tell bear teeth are remarkably strong. In the end, exhaustion decided the outcome for the boar's fate. All the efforts deserve a lavish meal. A moose was relaxing on the river when a predator appeared out of nowhere.
Oh my god. Is he gonna get it? I'm going to. Nice.
Fighting the current, the bear pushes forward relentlessly.
I am. Look, he's got him.
The moose made a mistake when it tried to run ashore, making it easier for the bear. Mature big bears may not be the fastest swimmers, yet their stamina and strength overwhelm exhausted prey. Our athlete truly deserves this award. Is that the harshness of nature or the indifference of the musk oxen herd? Instead of standing their ground, the adults flee, leaving calves exposed. For the bear, it feels like an open buffet. With bears, calves are the easiest food to find in the Arctic all year round, save for berries. This calf was lucky not to be chosen by the bear. It returned to its mother. The bear spots a herd of bighorn sheep and launches a direct chase.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, he's hungry.
That is insane.
This hunting style relies on speed and sudden pressure rather than patience. The sheep flee downhill and across the road, narrowly escaping.
Someone's hungry.
You want one of them goats so bad?
Although powerful, bears struggle against agile prey on steep terrain.
He wants one of them.
Probably eat anything.
Yeah, true.
One final attempt fails, and the bear gives up.
He's hungry.
That is insane.
Even strong predators must know when to stop wasting energy.
He'll probably eat.
This footage captures a rather rare sight of polar bears in the Svalbard archipelago, Norway, in the Arctic. This polar bear swims after a reindeer in the freezing cold river. With sea ice disappearing, seals are harder to reach, forcing bears onto land to hunt. After a while, the reindeer drowned, weighed down by the heavy bear. This is a brutal yet realistic portrayal of nature. At the same time, it serves as a profound warning against human actions that contribute to climate change. The grizzly bear watched the two baby moose basking in the sun, with their mother with longing eyes. The mother moose seemed at a loss, risking one of her cubs to protect herself and the other baby. Suddenly, the grizzly approaches with a quick pounce. The bear escapes with one calf, feeding effortlessly. Later, the mother moose returned seeking revenge, but the truth remained she had lost her precious cub. There are moments of utter helplessness, but it's an unavoidable law of nature. A young bear chased a young calf across the road in Crandall, Wyoming, USA. Although it hasn't encountered the biggest bear yet, this is probably the first time this cow has come across a grizzly bear. Grizzly bears are native to Wyoming. They will sometimes kill livestock, including cattle. Especially when natural food sources are scarce or when livestock are free-ranging near bear habitat. It seems that some owners will be claiming compensation for livestock losses. As dusk falls, a grizzly moves along the river and encounters an elk and her calf. Sensing danger, they choose water as their escape route. This decision saves them. The elk read the terrain faster than the bear and stayed one step ahead. Bears are strong swimmers, but poor choices by prey often decide the outcome. Awareness keeps the elk alive. When elk are gradually weakened in cold weather, one animal gets stronger, the wolf. In any group, there will always be a weaker and slower juvenile. The wolves want to isolate them from others. Their method of restraining prey mirrors the tactics seen in hyenas and savanna lions. The elk know that their companions have sacrificed themselves so the gang can escape. Rushing in to rescue just one at this point would be suicide. During harsh winters in Mongolia, wolves often target farmers' livestock as food grows scarce. But today, these friends were lucky to find a rabbit instead. The rabbit is fast and experienced, escaping danger many times before. However, the black wolf proves quicker and smarter. Patience and agility are the keys to survival in the most extreme situations. During the summertime, some wolves hunt alone to track beavers.
Oh, we got a beaver. Video.
They prey on beavers' poor eyesight and manipulate their sense of smell. The beaver remained stubborn despite repeated bites from the wolf. Hunger pushes the predator to stay focused and determined. One hearty hunt means days of survival. This pack of wolves is sending the grizzly bear a very clear message. Stay away from our prey. The bear, which had been hungry for days, couldn't give up the serve so easily. When the grizzly turned to fight, the wolves simply closed in, tighter from all sides. The collaboration of wolves showcases advanced social intelligence for mutual survival before hard opponent. Outnumbered and frustrated, the scarred old bear finally retreated uphill, leaving the feast behind. Obviously, teamwork makes the work. Arctic wolves, specifically snow white and black spot wolves, often dig burrows to create safe havens from predators and harsh weather. From afar, a lone female wolf suddenly appears. The intruder frantically searched for the newborn puppies. Chaos erupts as adults rush in, snapping and circling to protect the young. Against overwhelming resistance, the intruder finally retreats into the tundra. In nature, mothers, regardless of color or species, can do anything to protect their lineage. These coyotes rely on the wolves hunting to survive, though the wolves do not accept that. Drawn by habit, The coyotes approach a fresh hunt as they always have, without asking permission from the new landlord. Immediately, the female coyote power changes rules, and there's no room for mercy. The wolf exploited the herdsman's carelessness and attacked when the Limousin cattle and calf strayed without mastiffs. The newborn calf, still unsteady on its feet, had to endure much pain. Unfortunately, the wolf didn't realize its hopes were dashed when another cow came to help. Unlike lions, wolves are smaller, and their natural selection favors caution, so it's difficult for them to hunt alone. It's better to do difficult things together than to totally rely on yourself. Arctic hares are born with long legs to escape predators. And hunt of these two wolves. The wolves should have worked together better than simply racing against the rabbit. Survival challenges in nature always require more than one skill. Today, the parents decided to teach their spy pup a crucial lesson in catching large prey: musk oxen. The wolves surround the ox and then separate them until one gets trapped. They aim to exhaust, not overpower. The ox's thick, woolly coat is almost impenetrable, but 1 versus 4 truly reaches its limit. The puppies have been given a thorough class. If they want to fill an empty stomach, they need to learn more. A larger and more aggressive male bear charges in, while the wolves are enjoying their feast. Thieves don't bring with them the goodwill to share, and the wolves certainly couldn't stand that. Their compact size allows them to dodge bear attacks with ease and grace. While the chaos unfolds, a young grizzly comes in with a surprisingly calm tactic. Then it's allowed to eat beside the wolves while the big one got chased far away. Sometimes, gentleness succeeds where aggression fails. High in the Alps, the scent of meat draws a hungry brown bear out of hiding. Alpha, leader of the wolf pack, stands his ground instead of backing away. He circles, snaps, and barks, teaching his young that leadership must be defended. The bear ignores the growl at first, provocatively lying on top of the wolf pack's prey. Yet constant harassment slowly wears down his patience. The alpha wolf proves its dominance is fully earned. Courage is in the great leader. A young grizzly confidently moves in on a fresh wolf kill, attempting to claim the carcass by burying it under loose earth. Those who dare to steal the wolves' meal right under their noses won't have a pleasant end. The bear's strength against the wolves' speed. Certainly, the wolves can hold their own as well as the meal. At the end, they win in glory. For the bear, overconfidence and acting foolishly will not yield results. In this footage, we will see how a pair of wolves pursue a bison and her calf through the woodlands. These intelligent predators corner their prey in inflexible terrain filled with low, tangled bushes. Meanwhile, the way the mother bison keeps close to her calf and later runs zigzag indeed wrecks the wolves hard. The calf is so well learned, it quickly mastered the art of hiding itself from the clutches of the enemies. At the end, they rejoin the herd and survive. This pack of 25 wolves follows the snow trail of a herd of massive bison. Their prey is now gathered in an open area. The wolves plan to circle, pressure, and wait for a weak one left behind. This poor calf is the chosen one. And what's more tragic than being knocked down by a companion to free the others? The survival instinct would drive the most painful exchange. Finally, the pack feeds. But the hunt never truly ends. Wolves hunt in packs, and their primary prey are large mammals, like yaks. The pack of wolves chased the yak from dry. flat ground all the way to the slippery snow surface. Although the yak's kick successfully knocked the wolf away, it had 2 more pursuers behind. Unfortunately, it was also injured. This chase looked like it would last a long time. The situation wouldn't be better with an injured animal. The owner made a huge mistake by chaining his loyal dog outdoors in an area where wolves are known to hunt at night. The wolves certainly wouldn't miss this opportunity. As night falls, wolves silently surround the helpless animal. The dog leash snaps under pressure, removing the last barrier of safety. There was no one there to rescue the poor dog. Never let your guard down when living in an area with wolves. Disturbing the wolves or any other animals during a meal is something that should never be done. This immature bear acted impulsively and thoughtlessly. It was not ready to fight. As a result, it angered the wolf pack to the point of having to climb a tree to hide. Naturally, it won't be easily forgiven. Recklessness rarely ends without consequence. A pack of hungry wolves appeared in the woods, creating a chaotic alarm that shattered the silence of the forest. The signal reached the ears of this lone, foraging boar. Moments later, a pack of wolves bursts from the brush, eager and excited. A big feast is standing in front of them. Nevertheless, the wild boar decided that running away now wouldn't prolong its chances of survival. It suddenly charges with terrifying force, like a madman. Caught off guard, the wolves scatter and retreat in confusion. Always think positively, even in the worst situations. A lone wolf challenges the pack leader in a brutal contest of dominance. Animals fight for dominance to establish a social hierarchy that grants good living conditions for the rest. The lone wolf aims for the jugular, knowing it is the safest and fastest way to eliminate the head. The alpha endures pain, summons his final strength, and strikes back decisively. To become a leader, you don't need to be the strongest, but the most resilient. This wolf chases the caribou herd up the tundra. Filled with natural rocks, no place is more suitable for slowing down weak prey. The wolf would almost not caught anything if this baby caribou hadn't gotten lost in panic. This is the first meal after many days of fasting for the mother wolf. With joy, she finally had a meal to bring back for her pups at home. A son for a son. This cycle of nature will continue forever. From a distance, the gang of elk spotted the predator cautiously making their way through the thick snow. The wolves followed the leader in a single file to conserve energy, ensuring longer travel distances efficiently. After a while, they managed to chase one elk away from the herd. Its slender body and long legs give the elk a clear edge over wolves in the snow. This defeat meant not just failure, but also famine for the whole pack.